Tony and Macca from Tones Truckin App and Tones Truckin Stories. They're now calling themselves TruckWiz. They've done a great app which I have been test running in the truck for the last several weeks. So here they are. How are you, Macca? How are you, Tony?
Oh, good, thanks, Mike, and thanks for having us on the show. I'm well too, Mike. Yeah, great to be here.
Let's have a talk about this app. I have spent hundreds of dollars on a top-end Garmin, and your app does the job just as well as my Garmin does. You guys have done a fantastic job. Macca, where did it all come from? Where did you get started, mate?
It would have been a Friday night in Hornsby when I was stuck in traffic and I was lost, believe it or not. I'm going back a few years now. I had a car carrier.
Right.
And my first time in Sydney, and I never had a truck nav, and I got lost. And I tell you now, the stress that came with that very incident, that's how it started. And slowly grew, and then Tony and I partnered up. We both had the same idea. We've both got the same goals. We started building it probably about 7 months before I met Tones. And then Tones done the letter to the Senate. I reached out to Tones, and we caught up, and we have what we have today.
You're sort of on the same path, Tony, but Macca was just a little bit in front of you, is that right?
Yeah, I suppose so. Like, Macca had probably been working on the app 6 to 12 months before I was even on the scene. I suppose with my social media page, I bring to light a lot of drums that are with the industry, and I guess when the Senate inquiry came about, I wrote a submission, and a big part of mine was actually developing a type of app that was navigational, that you could use in every state that was correct. You could put your heights and weights in, but you could actually just use it from your phone.
Yep.
And one of Macca's mates actually saw my submission when I put it in a video on my Facebook page, and we got in contact, and really cliche, but the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah, right.
We both had the exact same vision, same ideas, both in the trucking industry, and we both wanted to contribute to the industry as well. That's probably why we get along so well, isn't it, Tone? We're on the same page, and we talk things through together, and it actually works as a great team. No one else that I'd actually rather partner up with. We just work so well together.
So it started out as the Tones Truckin App, and it's moving now to the TruckWiz app.
Yep. The company is TruckWiz, effectively, but we thought by launching that type of stuff, because I've got a bit of a social media presence out there, we thought that using it as Tones Truckin App, more of a bit of a marketing tool, I guess. We knew there was always going to be a point that we'd revert back to the original name and where the company comes from. And the fact, too, that there's plenty of the market out there that's not just about me or the people that I know. And that's where TruckWiz is not a generic name, but it's one that it can be everyone from, driving a truck to even down the truck caravans and all that sort of stuff you can actually have in the app as well.
Yeah.
So it's probably a bit selfish to have my name on it when it's actually a team effort, but just to get it out there, that was probably the best way to go about it to begin with. That's pretty much exactly how we looked at it when we first teamed up. We've just changed for no other reason but just so it's easier to find on the App Store.
Just a little bit of a business name change. The team remains the same.
Exactly right, mate. It is simply just a name change. There's no new people or investors or anything involved. It's simply just a name change and a different logo.
All right. Let's talk about what's in the new build.
In the last 4 days, between Macca and myself and a couple of other testers, we've probably had 2 or 3 builds where we put stuff in it, see how it works, and we go, that's glitching that. So then we either take it out or change it a little bit. So we spent a lot of time making sure that it's right before we actually give it to everyone else to get a high-quality app.
I know that when I asked Macca about turning the music off, like I was parked on the side of the road and I'm listening to the tunes, and I went to have a look at some emails and it turned the radio off. I rang Macca up and I said, mate, can you stop it from doing that? And, of course, now it does. Thanks, Macca. I appreciate that. Well done.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
The first probably 6 months, Macca, we were just constantly testing different heights to see. We were actually trying to bring our own app under.
Yep.
Putting in different bridge heights and going, that's working, right, we need to fix this, that needs to change, and working out different coding and overlays and all this technical stuff.
Yep.
That's all the stuff that we need to do in the background with other testers to work with and get right before we actually release a new update.
One of the first things I did with it when I got hold of it was see if it had let me take a 4.6 metre B-double through the airport tunnel, and it said no. So that's a plus.
Glad you listened to it too, by the way. Mike, you're actually one of the hardest ones that we could get wrong because you actually do dangerous goods.
Yeah.
So to get a good review from yourself, that the only problem we've had is the radio aspect of it, but I think we're doing something pretty right there. You're not getting told to go through tunnels. You're not told to go into areas that you're not allowed to. So that's what we like to hear with feedback, whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah.
It's a lot of positive feedback now, to be honest, isn't it, Macca? I think we're really on the right track with it.
Yeah, that's one of our biggest things is when we get that feedback, we know we're on the right track. Obviously, we're there to make it work for everyone. So it puts a smile on our face when we get good feedback and when we get the bad too, because we tend to fix it pretty quick. Either good or bad, we're always open to the feedback. And any good ideas that's going to make life easier for truck drivers, by all means, drop us a message. We're always online. We pretty much get hold of either one of us pretty quick.
Fellas, it's been great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having us, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.